Amit Pakurel, and let's begin with the top stories of this hour. Tribhuvan University mired in severe financial irregularities. Office bearers refrain from proper external auditing for the past 35 years. State Treasury still holds the saving of 2.57 trillion rupees. Government says no additional expenditure possible, especially non-budgetary expenses. A woman shoots 3 people at the YouTube headquarters in Northern California and apparently commits suicide. And Real Madrid passes Juventus 3-0 in the quarter-finals of the Champions League. Bayern Munich sees off Sevilla 2-1 in another quarter-final match. Tribhuvan University, the country's oldest university, has been found to be mired in severe financial indiscipline, which is otherwise responsible for producing qualified and disciplined human resources. The university has largely failed to maintain records of its income and expenditure for the past 3.5 decades. The available records have not even been put through external auditing. The financial details of Tribhuvan University and its 380 affiliated units have persistently remained unclear for around past 34 years. The university had hundreds of office bearers along with managers during the period, but none of them even bothered to reassess the disputed transactions. Every public organization is mandatorily required to ensure correct utilization of budget and get its financial details thoroughly examined by auditors assigned by the Attorney General. However, this huge lapse has occurred despite 3.5 decades since the university was established. The annual reports unveiled by the Office of the Attorney General have been pointing out to us the irregularities in the university's finances. The university's office bearers, however, have often been shying away from their responsibility by simply lying the blame on former officials along with excuse of losing old documents. Going by the budget endorsed by the Tribhuvan University, the university's annual budget stands at around 8 billion rupees. The amount includes the tax paid by the public, student fees, along with money generated through procurement and hiring procedures, which but is being subject to blatant irregularities owing to the apathy of the concerned authorities. The University Grants Commission has repeatedly urged the university to go through proper auditing due to the same reason. The university, however, has consistently remained indifferent to the call. The professors are of the view that this leaves enough room of suspicion against the university's office bearers for their reluctance to undergo external auditing for decades, which is against the existing regulation. And in this context, we had asked the students of Tribhuvan University what kind of human resources they think would the university produce that has not even conducted external audit for almost 3.5 decades. Let's take a look at what they had to say.
Public voice.
राजनीतिक कार्यकर्ताहरू आफ्नो पार्टीको कार्यकर्ताहरू चाहिँ उत्पादन गरेको छ र आफ्नै पार्टीको चाहिँ यहाँ चाहिँ नेताहरूलाई चाहिँ भर्ती गर्नेदेखि लिएर सबै चाहिँ गरेको छ।
विश्वविद्यालय जाने भन्दा पनि एउटा राजनीति गर्ने थलो एउटा चाहिँ पार्टीको कार्यकर्ता उत्पादन गर्ने जस्तोको रूपमा लिएका छन्।
यस विश्वविद्यालयले नैतिक रूपमा व्यवहारिक रूपमा स्टुडेन्टहरूलाई चाहिँ देशप्रति समाजप्रति उत्तरदायी हुनुपर्छ भन्ने कुरा चाहिँ सिकाएको रहेछ भन्ने मैले महसुस गर्छु।
त्यहाँ भित्र चाहिँ व्याप्त भ्रष्टाचार रहेछ हैन, त्यहाँ भित्र चाहिँ राजनीतिक चलखेलहरू बढिरहेको रहेछ अनि त्यसले गर्दाखेरि चाहिँ त्यो क्वालिटी जुन गुणस्तरीय चाहिँ विद्यार्थीहरू उत्पादन हुँदैनन्।
लेखा अडिट जुन नगर्दाखेरि विश्वविद्यालयमा विकृतिहरू हैन भित्र चलखेलहरू र विद्यार्थीको गुणस्तरमा र शिक्षण विधिमा इत्यादिमा असर पर्ने धेरै समस्या देखिरहेछ।
Now the national political update. Prime Minister KP Sharma Oli has pledged not to force any bilateral agreement that would let the country down. Informing the House of Representatives about his upcoming India visit scheduled for 6th to 8th of April, Premier Oli said he would agree only on the issues that would be in Nepal's interest. He added that issues concerning Mancheswar, postal highways, among others, would be his priorities. It is also informed that discussions regarding agriculture, energy, hydropower, railways, difficulties related to flood and inundation, transmission lines and United Checkpost would be held during his visit. Meanwhile, the first assembly of the Federal Parliament has concluded from yesterday itself. The meeting endorsed the Prime Minister KP Sharma Oli's state visit to India. According to State Minister for Communications Gokul Baskota, no new bilateral treaty would be forced during the Premier's 3-day visit to the southern neighbour. Prime Minister Oli will be accompanied by Foreign Minister Pradeep Kiwali, Minister for Industries Matrika Prasad Yadav, and Minister for Physical Infrastructure and Transportation Raghubir Seth, among other high-ranking government officials during the visit. Meanwhile, the cabinet meeting decided to register the much-touted Medical Education Act. The meeting also decided to continue operation of district education offices till the 16th of July. And time now for a short break. For more news, do stay with us. Welcome back after the break. Factors such as infrastructure development and improvement in health and education services are usually considered while upgrading a municipality to a sub-metropolis. However, to the delight of many, Ilam municipality has taken the idea of upgrading itself to the status of sub-metropolis by increasing its population. Ilam has adopted a program to encourage more childbirth by raising its population. The executive meeting of the Ilam municipality has decided to give 2,000 rupees to couple who give birth to a second child, 3,000 to the one who has third child, 4,000 for the fourth child, and 5,000 to the mother after that. The municipality has planned to upgrade itself to sub-metropolis in the next 20 years with a population increment program. The plan, however, appears controversial, taking into account the national policy of 2 children at the maximum. It's also yet to be clear what repercussions that the program would invite. And it's now time for our segment, Public Pulse, where you text us with your opinion.
Public Pulse.
And the question is, what's your take on Ilam municipality opting to increase population to be regarded as sub-metropolis? And options are A, hasty decision, and B, lack of accountability. The voting is on. Type any WS, select your option A or B and send it to 8080 to share your opinion with us. Now the international update. A woman shot 3 people at the YouTube headquarters in Northern California yesterday and then apparently took her own life. As people scrambled off the patio outside a cafe on the YouTube campus, a 4th person was hurt, injuring her ankle. San Bruno Police Chief Ed Barberini said the dead woman was found at the scene and appeared to have killed herself with a handgun, but the investigation was just beginning. According to law enforcement officials, the shooter is believed to have known at least one of the victims, and the motive of the shooter was unclear. It is not known whether the shooting was a domestic violence incident. A spokesman for Zuckerberg's San Francisco General Hospital said the facility received 3 patients. One 36-year-old man was in critical condition, one 32-year-old woman was in serious condition, and one 27-year-old woman was in fair condition. YouTube, which was founded in February 2005, quickly became the most well-known of several online video sites. In 2006, Google said it was purchasing YouTube for $1.65 billion in stock. Some 1,700 people work at the YouTube headquarters. The US has published a list of about 1,300 products from China it plans to hit with a 25% tariff. The White House says the proposed extra tax on the imports is a response to unfair Chinese practices around intellectual property rights. The wide-ranging list includes items such as medical products, televisions, and motorcycles. Economists have warned the move could prompt China to retaliate and lead to higher prices for American consumers. The release of the list comes just after China hit $3 billion worth of US products with tariffs in response to steel, the aluminum tariffs the US has imposed. The products on the list the US published yesterday represent imports worth about $50 billion annually. Last year, the US imported goods from China worth about $506 billion. US business groups have urged the 2 sides to try to resolve the issues through talks expressing concern that threatening tariffs could lead to a dispute that hurts the U.S. economy. And time now for another short break. For more news, do stay with us. Dispute has surfaced between the ruling and opposition parties in the wake of the white paper unveiled by Finance Ministry, which proclaimed that the state coffer was almost empty. The opposition has alleged the government of making exaggerated remark, citing that there is enough money in the state treasury as per the records of Nepal Rashtra Bank. The government, however, has maintained that it is not capable of additional expenditure, attributing it to the development projects without sources of adequate budget and income. The government's account at the central bank shows the saving of 2.57 trillion rupees, or 1.6 trillion rupees of the amount has been allocated for local governments, which the central government is not allowed to access. Besides that, the funds pertaining to post-earthquake reconstruction, among others, amount to 11 billion rupees. The saving still stands at 1.4 trillion rupees after all such deductions. On the very premise, arguments are being made from different quarters, contrary to the government's claim of the state treasury being almost empty.
जुन राखेका छौं त्यहाँ बजेटमा त्यो नआइकन त खर्च हुँदैन हैन, त्यसकारणले त्यो नआउने स्रोत हामीले राखेको रहेछौं भने पनि त्यस्ता प्रोजेक्टहरुमा चिन्ता गर्नुपर्ने आवश्यकता छैन। अनि आन्तरिक ऋणमा पनि अलिकति केही लिन बाँकी नै छ सरकारको। र अर्को कुरा के भने अब श्वेतपत्रमा उल्लेख भए अनुसार हाम्रो 72 देखि 75% मात्रै खर्च हुने हुनाले मलाई लाग्छ यो ढुकुटीलाई रित्तो भन्नु भन्दा यो भएकोलाई अवसर हो, यसलाई हामी कसरी सदुपयोग गरेर अगाडि जाउँ भन्न पनि सकिन्छ।
The Finance Ministry nonetheless has insisted there has arisen difficulty in resource management due to low revenue collection and decline in foreign aid. The ministry has maintained that the saving projected last year has failed to materialize in the current fiscal year owing to unavailability of resources which amounts to almost 2 trillion rupees. The ministry has also attributed the deficit to the significant amount of allocated for local governments' non-budgetary demands and increase in administrative expenses. The ministry added that the budget discrepancy still stands at more than 50 billion rupees, despite mobilization of internal loans worth 1.21 billion rupees. The Finance Ministry made it clear that it is unable to live up to the demands other than daily expenditure, citing that it is mandatory to expedite development projects. The growing instances of financial indiscipline has also been recently putting pressure on the state treasury. Now the sports update.
Sports news.
Real Madrid thrashed Juventus 3-0 in the first leg quarter-finals of the Champions League played this morning. Likewise, Bayern Munich saw Sevilla 2-1 in another first leg quarter-final match of the Champions League. The Juventus stadium broke into applause, and Real Madrid coach Zinedine Zidane, once a player of extraordinary gifts himself, looked dumbstruck at the audacity of Cristiano Ronaldo's goal. Just when everyone thought the Portuguese had done it all, he produced a strike in Real's 3-0 Champions League quarter-final first leg win at Juve early this morning that is astonishing even by the standards of his remarkable career. Cristiano Ronaldo had got Real off the mark with the third-minute goal, scoring for a record 10th successive Champions League game, and Marcelo was also on target as Juve's 5-year unbeaten home record in European competition crumbled. Ronaldo scored the third goal with a perfectly executed bicycle shot which flew past Juventus keeper Gianluigi Buffon. Likewise, in an exciting Champions League quarter-final first leg clash this morning, Bayern Munich fought back with a deflected own goal and a late header from Thiago to claim a 2-1 win at Sevilla. Pablo Sarabia had put Sevilla ahead in the 32nd minute when he got the better of Juan Bernat to control Sergio Escudero's cross and fire home at the back post. However, 5 minutes later, Bayern levelled when Sevilla's Jesus Navas agonizingly deflected Frank Ribery's cross past home goalkeeper David Soria at the near post. With Sevilla tiring, 5-time European champions Bayern took advantage and Thiago headed the winner with the help of a deflection of Sergio Escudero in the 68th minute. And before we wrap up, a reminder of the top stories. 301 University mired in severe financial irregularities. Office bearers refrained from proper external auditing for the past 35 years. State Treasury still holds the saving of 2.57 trillion rupees. Government says no additional expenditure possible, especially non-budgetary expenses. A woman shoots 3 people at the YouTube headquarters in Northern California and apparently commits suicide. And Real Madrid thrashes Juventus 3-0 in the quarterfinals of the Champions League. Bayern Munich sees up Sevilla 2-1 in another quarterfinal. And that's all for this hour. Keep watching Kantipur TV SD for more news and entertainment. Goodbye for now.